What's good, guys? What's good? Prince Sports here, man. I just want to chop it up and talk for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or whatever. But yo, I saw some bits, some highlights of the new first take now that Max Kellerman is gone. And before I talked about their replacements, I didn't know those was exactly going to be the replacements. But turns out it was true that Michael Irvin and now what, Tim Tebow is his replacement. I looked at that craziness between Stephen A. Smith and Michael Irvin. These two brothers yelling and cursing at each other. Listen, man, that first take show need to go off air. Not only are the takes bad, not only are the the topics that they're talking about suck, the guests that they have on here suck. All right, the commentators, Stephen A. Smith with his hidden agenda, are just trying to be a shock jock, and then you have Michael Irvin. He's trash. All he does is just yell and scream. I don't even think he knows mostly about other sports other than football. I think they got him on here just for football, but dog, it's time to cancel that show. It's really time to get rid of that show and call it quits. Why is that show even on air right now, man? Now you're gonna have. I haven't seen Tim Tebow on here, so maybe if you have seen it already, or maybe he probably was on the show. I don't follow the show fully like that, but it appears though that Tim Tebow is gonna be on here, right? So what is he gonna do? You know, Mr. Happy Go Lucky Tim Tebow. How's he gonna fare on that TV show? You know, he's just gonna have Stephen A. Smith yell and curse at him. And I heard reports of Stephen A. Smith wanted Max Kellerman gone because he felt like Max Kellerman was more smarter than him or challenging him a little too much. Um, Now I don't watch, like I said, I don't watch that show to have a big time breakdown of it. But I will tell you this much: I have seen highlights. Max Kellerman gets treated by um, quote Stephen A. Smith, and it's not good. Max Kellerman's on a different show now. Now that he's getting a little more respect on a different show, he don't get yelled and screamed at constantly like he gets yelled and screamed at constantly by Stephen A. Smith. Even when Stephen A. Smith has his guys on the show, they're yelling and screaming at the guy. You know, you know what I'm saying? So, me personally, I think it was a good thing for Max Kellerman to leave. But if those reports are true that Stephen A. Smith was feeling inferior, he was feeling disrespected by Max Kellerman because he felt a lot of people felt Max Kellerman was more smarter. If that makes any sense, I guess screaming A. Smith, you know, couldn't handle it. Now Stephen A. Smith, I don't know him personally. I'm sure he's a good guy, but that show is just what I'm focused on. They need to take that show off air. There's no reason for that show to be on air. None at all. That show should be just flat out canceled, and reboot the 10 o'clock slot and give it to somebody else. Because I noticed one thing: Stephen A. Smith can't last without Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless was the heart and soul of First Take. The minute he left, it was hard to find a replacement. And there's really nobody that can match up with Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, the chemistry they had. But I find it interesting. I find it interesting that Stephen A. Smith he can't relate to a lot of other people. He can only match with with Skip Bayless. But Skip Bayless can match up with Shannon Sharpe. And I think that show Undisputed is blowing First Take out the water. Now, according to Stephen A. Smith, he says First Take is number one in ratings, but I'm not going to believe him. He works on First Take and ESPN, so of course he's going to lie and say that, hey, First Take's number one, but I don't think it is. I think Undisputed really surpassed First Take big time. I can't see no reason to why First Take would be beating Undisputed. Undisputed has Shannon Sharpe, you know. What's up, man? Good vibes, Brian. You know, but first take, I mean, Undisputed has Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless, and they get along better. They have more chemistry. Even when they even when they disagree on a debate, it's more entertaining um, than Stephen A. Smith yelling at Max Kellerman. And Max Kellerman kind of gives in, you know, and he kind of quits on the debate. And he never fully answers the question completely right. I don't think Max Kellerman felt pretty good there. I think he probably felt like he was getting disrespected by Stephen A. Smith a little too much, to a point he was like, you know what? I don't want to be part of this show anymore. I don't want to be part of this anymore. And I think that's why he decided to, he probably went to ESPN and said, hey, you know what? I got to get out of here, man. I got to get out of here. And once that happened, it was like, oh, the floodgates flood open, right? You know, Stephen A. Smith got exposed for his true nature of what he really is. I think Stephen A. Smith has to be the voice of a show because and that power went to his head. ESPN said, "Hey, listen, man, we give you the show. We're gonna give you first take, right? It's gonna be your show, but you're gonna have to decide who's gonna guest star with you." But nobody matched with Stephen A. Smith, and it's not like he's ethering people on these debates. He's actually making very little bit of sense when he does these debates. And my whole thing about Stephen A. Smith, man, is like, dog, it's probably time for you to hang it up and just give up on that show. Won't you go back to doing shows by yourself? He should do something like the Stephen A. Smith show. Remember the late night show he had, I think a couple years back when he was interviewing people? That was more credible than what he's doing now, you know. But First Take is flat out trash, you know. Like I said, it's flat out trash. And the agenda behind the show of constantly talking about one person all the time. I mean, if it's NBA, 90% of their stories are about LeBron James. That's what ESPN gives you anyway. 90% of their stories they make about LeBron. And they got to switch over and just do something different a little bit, man. You know, but you can't blame ESPN. Yes, you can actually, because they made that monster. They made it to a point where all you got to talk about in the NBA is LeBron James. When there's plenty other storylines and things to talk about, but you won't give those storylines a chance because all you do is talk about one person all the time. This is why ESPN ratings are declining. This is why ESPN is in flux. And Fox Sports, they got their craziness going on with it, but you know what? Fox Sports get better ratings than probably ESPN. And Fox Sports is trash too, you know. But at least Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp bring you entertaining cast, because their debates be funny as hell. Shannon Sharp is like the old drunk uncle that you talk about. Now he is a LeBron lover, you know, but that's part of the stick. I'm not even sure if he really, I mean, that could be fake too. I'm not sure if he really a LeBron supporter. He could be just doing that because he needs to do it because Skip Bayless has to be the guy that constantly talking about LeBron in a different light. And he has to be the guy that talks about LeBron in the good light. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know if anybody caught that First Take show, man, but I could tell you off the bat, it's not looking pretty good for First Take, man. They should definitely call that show quits. That show died a long time ago. I'm surprised that it's still going on right now. You know, I guess the fact that it's talking about sports, it continuously can go on realistically, but sometimes you got to know when to cut it off and be like, hey, you know what? We're done with this show. It's enough. You know, that's why I was saying First Take should be taken off. They should replace that show. You know, ESPN need to clean house, period. And they need to clean house by getting rid of Stephen A. Smith. As I do on my channel all the time, I like talking about dudes on the media and some of these people that have this hidden agenda in the media. because that's one of the things that I go at the most. A lot of people think I go at the players a lot, but it's more so than often I go at the media more than anything. You know, but what should it be replaced with? I mean, they should go and hire a couple of good people. I know he was a bit on the crazy side for a lot of people, but they lost him to Fox Sports. Rob Parker would have been great for ESPN, but ESPN couldn't pit up with Rob Parker because they fired him after I think he made some crazy comment. But Rob Parker would have been great for ESPN. He would have been great for Stephen A. Smith on First Take if you ask me. But ESPN lost a lot of their clout because they kept firing people, and they realized a lot of these people that they were replacing were not good replacements. And it was a bit on the rough side, but Rob Parker would have been great for First Take because he could have been easily able to combat Stephen A. Smith, you know. But he's with Fox Sports. Now, who do you hire? You got to hire a bunch of fresh blood in there because everybody keeps leaving ESPN because of the stuff that goes on with ESPN. It's just simple as that, man. But that'd have been a good replacement. As of now, Michael Irvin ain't doing it. Michael Irvin ain't doing it. I think his time would be cut short. He may mess around and have a heart attack on that TV show because that dude be acting crazy, man. He be like spazzing out, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Yo, Brandon, I feel you, man. I think 90% of those ESPN TV shows, debate shows, are trash. I don't watch them that much neither, but I do get clips. And since I do YouTube videos, I talk about some of the clips that I seen, but I don't watch those shows in their entirety at all. I get clips every now and then I talk about it, be like, look how stupid this guy sounds, you know? So I do watch some of the clips, but watching the show in its entirety, no. But bro, I watched this clip of Michael Irvin and Stephen A. Smith. These two dudes look like it was two drunk old men arguing with each other, man. They really need to, you got to let that show go, bro. Yo, Brandon, they got to let the show go. They need to clean house. Definitely clean house. They should let Jalen Rose and that other dude, I forget his name, but they had like hip hop quotes mixed with basketball. Like he was to talk about pump the trunk and all that stuff. Jalen Rose was good for NBA basketball. Okay. At least he had less bias than a lot of these commentators. Jalen Rose he just tell it to you like how he see it. Even if you disagree with him, he just told you how he see it. I really thought Jalen Rose was a little more credible than a Stephen A. Smith when he talked basketball. He mixed it with the hip hop. He had a good vibe, man. A whole good set going on around there. A whole good feel. You know what I'm saying? But man, I tell you, bro, that shit had me rolling. That shit had me cracking up laughing, man. I can't believe that they had Michael Irvin in there acting like a fool. Yep. That is true, man. A lot of them dudes, especially Stephen A. Smith, bro, he definitely sold out to the bag. And you could see him he capping on them TV shows, man. And he did a perfect example of it. He did it when he was with Skip. Remember when he was with Skip Bayless? Skip Bayless was the guy that he had to constantly disagree with, right? So remember how he was when it pertained to LeBron James. Not, I don't want to throw LeBron name in the mix, but I'm just saying as an example. But remember, he became Skip Bayless and more critical of LeBron once Skip Bayless left. That show you that was all a gimmick. I'm not sure if I could believe the things that he said, because if he was really on point with what he said, he would have never switched up when Skip Bayless left. When Skip Bayless left, he was like, oh, you know what? I got to be the Skip Bayless. And somebody else going to have to be the ejector. That's how it felt like. Just flat out, that's how it felt like. And don't get me wrong, it's you could be critical of LeBron James, which is okay, you know. You're supposed to be. There's a lot of things to be critical about, but at the same time, you got to keep that same energy. He didn't have that same energy he had once Skip Bayless left. He changed his complete routine once Skip Bayless left. And I think ESPN was like, you know what, Skip gone, so you're gonna have to be the Skip. You know, man, that's nuts. Luka already lost to Kawhi Leonard twice. You know, Donovan Mitchell already lost to the Clippers. You know, them guys are good future stars, but they're not better than Kawhi Leonard. That's a dumb thing to say anyway. He just saying anything that stick, and he'll use it for clout. Anything that stick, he uses for clout. That's it. He's just looking for somebody to ruffle their feathers to be on the news. And that's what problem with ESPN, man. You guys watch these trash announcers, these trash sports analysts. They don't know shit about what they're talking about because there's too much hidden agenda in it. Journalism has journalism has died a long time ago. Long time ago. And even when you have guys that interview and answer people questions, they don't answer the right questions. Like, remember with Rasheed Wallace, they asked Rasheed Wallace, do you think LeBron James would be this and that if he played in the past? And, he said, oh, I think he'll hold his own. Now, as a journalist, you're supposed to follow that up. You're supposed to say, what do you mean by hold your own? But instead, he was so interested in clout chasing that he said, oh, do you think he'll be a scrub or a beast? That was his next follow-up question. A complete stupid question to answer as a journalist. That's why ESPN is trash. That's why I trash on all those journalists, because you can see right through the BS. You can see they talking bullshit. You get more information on with people on YouTube than you do with sports announcers, because these sports announcers, they got to make money, and they just say anything just to get you pumped up. Half of the shit, they don't believe in what they say. At least in YouTube, you get our genuine opinion. You get our genuine, true to heart opinion. Ain't no clout chasing with me. You getting my true opinion. Whether you agree or disagree with what I'm saying, I'm giving you my honest opinion. There's no beefs. There's no but or ifs about it, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I just wanted to chop that up real quick. Shout out to Brandon, Mark Law. Shout out to Z. Shout out to everybody, man. I just wanted to chop that up real quick. About to head up out of here, man. But like I was saying, ESPN needs to get rid of First Take. They need to take that show, trash it up, throw it in a trash can, crumble it up, get rid of it, recycle it, do something. But one thing for sure, it can't be staying on here. They got to go. That show got to be bye-bye. Construction workers outside working. But yeah, man, let me be out, man. Shout out to all you dudes, man. Peace.